Well, hello, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your April the 3rd just for today in a meditation. I hope you're doing well. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. It is entitled For You Alone, April the 3rd. The ideal of a spiritual awakening takes many different forms in the different personalities that we find in the fellowship, taken from the basic text, page 49. Though we all work the same steps, each of us experiences the spiritual awakening resulting from them in our own way. The shape that spiritual awakening takes in our lives will vary depending on who we are. For some of us, the spiritual awakening promised in the 12th step will result in a renewed interest in religion or mysticism. Others will awaken to an understanding of the lives of those around them, experiencing empathy, perhaps for the first time. Still, others will realize that the steps have awakened them to their own moral or ethical principles. Most of us experience our spiritual awakening as a combination of these things, each combination as unique as the individual who's been awakened. If there are so many different varieties of spiritual awakenings, how do we know if we've truly had one? The 12th step provides us with two sounds. We've found principles capable of guiding us well, the kind of principles we want to practice in all our affairs. And we've begun to care enough about other addicts to freely share with them the experience we've had. No matter what the details of our awakenings are like, we all are given the guidance and the love we need to live fulfilling, spiritually oriented lives. Just for today, regardless of its particular shape, my spiritual awakening has helped me fill my place in the world with love and life. For that, I am grateful. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. For you alone. Spiritual awakenings are funny, right? They're interesting, not funny as in humorous, but they're interesting, they're different. And the spiritual awakening that an individual has can be, as it says here, as varied as there are people, depending on who we are. Each individual will experience the 12th step differently, the spiritual awakening part of it. However, there are some similarities, and two in particular, that you have been able to find spiritual principles that guide you to the extent that you're able to apply them in all of your affairs. And then the other clue that you're given is that you want to carry your experience, strength, and hope, your experience to other individuals that are still suffering, other addicts. I love the duality of that. I love that they give me markers, right? They give me markers for me to be able to determine if I've had a spiritual awakening or not. Have I found spiritual principles that I believe I can apply them, maybe not consistently all the time, but I am able to apply love. I am able to apply empathy. I am able to apply forgiveness. I am able to apply, right? So, am I able to apply these spiritual principles that I've gained in all of my affairs? Or is it that I need to pick and choose how I apply them? Now, this is just my experience. So, you will have to wrap it around your experience because, again, the spiritual awakening is as varied as there are individuals. Every individual in this regard is very unique, but we have these commonalities. There's two of them, and that it stirs you enough to want to share it, it with someone else that is suffering in a manner that you can relate to before you gain the spiritual awakening. And if you can check those off, those two similarities, then 9 times out of 10, just like myself, you've had a spiritual awakening. It's really not complicated. However, this one sentence here, I believe sometimes makes it very complicated. It's in the second paragraph, and it's this statement. For some of us, the spiritual awakening promised in the 12th step will result in a renewed interest in religion or mysticism. I think that sometimes, because the spiritual awakening can land an individual with a faith system, a religion, right? A manner in which to practice their spiritual core beliefs, that people will confuse that with the program of Narcotics Anonymous, which we know is spiritual, not religious. But that's not to say that your spiritual awakening will not lead you in that direction. And no one can judge it because we're all different in regards to this. I hope that you are experiencing the freedom that this program gives us, that it promises us. It's such a beautiful space to be in that I really can't compare it to too much else that I have experienced. Clearly, I have a faith system that it allows me to express my core beliefs, right? I have a faith system. A lot of people don't have that. They have service. They have writing. They have music. They have a way about them or something that they identify with that allows them to feel this wholeness that should be coming out of the 12th step. And that in itself is powerful. If it brings you peace and it brings you happiness and it allows you to apply it regularly to all your affairs, as I'm saying, not perfectly, and it allows you to have a desire to share back, I think it's wonderful. I know that I'm always looking for the next spiritual awakening. I don't want to be stagnant. So I'm always looking for what else, what other revelation am I going to receive? You know, I just had this download a couple hours ago. I want to share with you. I was noticing on social media, a friend of mine, her daughter is pregnant, very pregnant. And the siblings and the mom, my friend, they were all, excuse me, they were all taking pictures with with her daughter. And it occurred to me, it's not like a new thought, right? It's not a new thought, but in that moment, I thought to myself, that young lady, this is her first child. She has no idea what awaits her when it comes to birthing a baby. That experience alone is going to be life-changing. All of the pain and all of the energy that goes through an individual's body to push this child out becomes nothing once a mother beholds her baby. And I thought to myself, why are you showing me this? Right. And the purpose of the download was to show me that with every new beginning, everything that I'm seeking to birth, books, I would say like short videos, short films, right? The things that I'm seeking to do and seeking to put out there that I believe I'm called to do, right? I have the things that I've studied about it. I have my favorite people that I watch and see if I can emulate some of their manners or strategies or talent, right? Teaching myself. However, as painful as it can be, the hours involved, the editing that's involved, the um, feedback sometimes not always positive, and the way that can hit your spirit sometimes, that all of that pain that is sometimes, or that effort and energy and time that is a part that runs through me to be able to birth this out. At the end of the day, when I get to hold that piece of work, all of the work will seem like it was nothing. Birthing something that you're attached to is not ever going to be easy, but it's always going to be worth it. My spiritual awakening does that for me. It allows me to apply the spiritual principle of faith and hope and love to my own circumstances regularly. And it also allows me to extend myself to other people and causes me to want to be vulnerable for the sake of loving others, for the sake of helping the still suffering addict. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I hope that you will have the most beautiful day. Make April the 3rd the most beautiful day that you have ever lived. I intend to. Talk to you soon.